If a tiny bird appears when you're alone, it might not be from this world. It doesn't happen when you're ready for it. You're outside, alone, and the world feels unusually quiet. Maybe the day has been heavy. Maybe your thoughts drift towards someone you can't reach anymore. Or maybe there's nothing at all, just silence. And then it happens. Out of nowhere, a tiny bird appears. Not far away, not in the distance, but right in front of you. Hovering. Closer than it should ever come. Close enough that you hear it before you fully understand it. That rapid, unnatural hum, like something vibrating between two worlds. Close enough to see its eyes fixed on you, watching. And it doesn't leave. It stays longer than it should, longer than makes sense. In that moment, something feels different. Not wrong, but unfamiliar. Like time slows down, like the space around you shifts. Then suddenly, it's gone. Just like that. But the feeling doesn't leave with it. Something inside you changes. You can't explain it, and you don't try to, because deep down you know this wasn't ordinary, and whatever that moment was, you weren't truly alone. Welcome back to Backyard Bird Mysteries. If you're new here, subscribe, because what you're about to hear may completely change how you see the quiet moments in your life and the creatures that enter them. Today, we're exploring one of the strangest and most powerful experiences people report. A tiny bird appearing when they are completely alone. Not randomly, not casually, but at the exact moment something inside them is open. We'll look at what ancient cultures believed about this, what science can explain, and why this happens to so many people at the exact moment they need it most. There are 7 things you need to understand, and the last one is the part people never forget. To understand this, we have to go back, because the idea that tiny birds carry something beyond the physical world isn't new, it's ancient. Long before modern science, civilizations across the Western Hemisphere believed these small birds were more than just animals. Among the Aztecs, it was said that fallen warriors returned as tiny birds, not weak or lost, but transformed, fast, fearless, and able to move between worlds. They believed these birds carried energy that didn't fully belong here, across the Caribbean. Especially in places like Trinidad and within Afro-Caribbean traditions, the tiny bird is seen as a messenger, not just a symbol, but a connection. When one appears near someone in grief, it isn't dismissed as coincidence. It's understood as contact. Across Native American traditions, including the Pueblo peoples, tiny birds are linked to healing, love, and the ability to travel great distances to bring comfort. The Cherokee associate them with joy and the return of what has been lost, different cultures, different beliefs, yet the same idea keeps appearing. This tiny bird arrives with meaning. And then there's the part that makes this even harder to ignore. Science doesn't dismiss it. It quietly supports parts of it. Tiny birds have one of the most advanced memory systems among birds. They don't just remember flowers. They remember patterns, timing, and places. And they remember people. Your movements, your routines, even the colors you wear. If you've ever fed them or simply been a consistent presence, they recognize you. So when one hovers directly in front of your face, it isn't confused. It isn't lost. It chose to come to you. And this is where the pattern begins, because thousands of people describe the same moment. A loss, a quiet day, a moment alone, and then a tiny bird appears, hovers, looks directly at them and leaves. Different lives, different places, but the same feeling. So what is it? The truth is, we don't fully know. But we do know this. Tiny birds are drawn to stillness, calm, and presence. When you are truly alone, you create a kind of quiet that most of the world never reaches. A space where something small and aware feels safe enough to come close. Very close. Take a tiny bird in the light and shadow. In darkness, it can seem ordinary, almost invisible. But in the light, it can suddenly flash into something vivid and unreal, as if it transforms before your eyes. The bird itself hasn't changed, but what you see has. When a tiny bird hovers in front of you, something extraordinary is happening. Its wings move faster than your eyes can follow. Its heart races at a speed most creatures couldn't survive. And yet it appears completely still, suspended, watching, choosing to stay. That moment takes effort. It takes energy. And in that moment, it sees you more clearly than you can imagine. And sometimes, it comes back. Same place, same time, again. Tiny birds don't forget. If one returns to you, it means you've become part of its world. Not just something passing through, but something remembered. For some people, That second visit feels like confirmation. The first moment says, I'm here. The second feels like, I never left. But the most powerful stories come from people who weren't looking for anything. No belief, no expectation, just an ordinary moment. And then it happened, and before they could explain it, before logic could interrupt, they knew. The tiny bird doesn't explain itself. It doesn't need to. It appears, it stays, and then it disappears, leaving behind something you can't fully name but never forget. If this has ever happened to you, you already understand. And if it hasn't, you will recognize it when it does. Have you ever experienced a moment like this? A tiny bird appearing when you were completely alone, at the exact moment it shouldn't have? Tell your story, because whatever this is, you are not the only one it has reached.